you don't like the vertical, we now have the widescreen going on the main channel. It's on a GoPro. Someone's asking if we're going to go for a ride. No. We're going to fix something. We fix cars on this channel. Enough of that dinghy. I need that later on. Alright, so to pull this evaporator core, I gotta pull the dash out. Good times. Didn't mean to touch that. Alright, so this is a R744 or short-term R7 leak detector, also known as a CO2, carbon dioxide, not carbon monoxide. Carbon dioxide leak detector. Yes, carbon dioxide is used in some AC systems. Now, when you work in the automotive field and you have a really big AC leak, where you can't find it with your automotive leak detector for 134A, R22, or 1234AF, it can get really expensive to keep charging up the system with this automotive grade Freon, like 1234YF. That stuff's anywhere between $150 to $200 a pound, depending on the volume in which you purchase it. Okay? So, how do you get around that? This has a huge grotesque leak. This is a 1 pound system of 1234AF, so that means that, and it loses 75% of its charge every time it gets charged up. So that means that the 3 times that the other people have been recharging this system, it means that the multiples, every time that the technician has been charging the system, trying to leak check it with the automotive leak detector, the shop's been losing like 75 bucks. Just throw. You got a huge leak, how you gonna find a leak? So that's why I like to purge the system of the 1234YF or 134A, and I'll put in CO2. Now my CO2 supply is on a 20-gallon tank that's regulated, that is a 20-gallon tank that has 1,000 psi, and it's regulated down to 125 psi, and it's constantly coming in. It's a constant supply. That's what I want. And we're gonna put this on the floor vents. How do you do these stupid modes? turn knobs. There we go. So this CO2 leak detector, very, very sensitive. Just me talking, it's going to set it off, okay? Because we expel CO2 out of our lungs after we inhale all the nitrogen and oxygen. So I'm blowing the air on the vents. I got to be very careful not to be breathing, even talking in the direction of the sensor. My AC fan is not turning on. And that's not turning on. Okay. Yes, it detected something, so you got to take the sensor away. Okay. It doesn't sense anything anymore. It goes through recalibration. We're going to walk it back down. That's it. CO2 leak. This is an expensive setup to get into. You're looking at about $300 for a CO2 leak detector. You're looking at another $200 to get a 20 pound CO2 tank, another $100 in a regulator, and another couple $100 in hose adapters to go to 134A and 1234YF. A lot of money. What did I say there? 300, 200, that's 500 plus a regulator assembly, another $100, some hoses. You know, all in all with tax, I probably got about $800-900 into this. That's a lot of money. That's my personal money. That's not the shop the money. The shop doesn't believe in this technology. Okay? They think that they can still diagnose their systems efficiently and accurately with fucking dye and traditional leak detectors. Well, let me give you an education here. 134A, yes, you can use dye. 1234YF, there's no dye on the market for that PAG oil. Okay? They don't want you using dye because it screws around with the other components. There's a lot of different components between 134A and 1234YF, so they don't want you using dye. So you have to rely very heavily on your AC sniffer. Now your AC sniffers, they range from really good to really not so good. The ones that are on the tool trucks, they're all not really so good. They're very mid-grade to low-grade. You want a good 1234YF leak detector? $800 for 1234YF and 134A. I'm not kidding you, like $800. I'd rather invest in this setup. It's more versatile. I can use this setup. I can use it on exhaust systems. I can use it on intake manifold systems. I can use it on a plethora of systems. Okay? Anything that'll hold air pressure. I got regulators that'll go all the way down to 1 psi, so I can use it on an evap system or a gas tank. So, yeah. I find AC leaks, especially in the evaporator core, 100% accurately in less than 10 minutes. Guys will be farting around in these cars for half a day, charging them up, vacuuming them down, doing this and doing that. This is technology. Now, warning. You're going to hear a couple of warnings about this. One, J standards. They say the J standard for this system does not allow CO2. You could damage components. Yeah, that's if you turn the car on and you turn the compressor on. So don't turn the compressor on. You can charge the system up and then you can vacuum out CO2. That's fine. Alright? That's completely fine. The air that we're breathing right now is full of is like 80% nitrogen, then you got like 8% oxygen, and we got carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and other things that make up like that last 20%, 15, 20%. All right. So when your AC system gets unplugged, let's say somebody's going to do some work. Let's say they pull the engine out, the AC system's open to atmosphere. There's like 15% carbon dioxide in the atmosphere at all times. You see, as long as you know what you're doing, it's okay. I know what I'm doing. It's like just like the people who have liquid nitrogen, okay? The shit that freezes stuff instantly. But what do? They say like, oh, I can stick my hand in this liquid nitrogen and I won't freeze. Well, yeah, it won't freeze, because they know that as long as they stick their hand in there and they pull it out within a certain amount of time, it'll be okay, because all the off-gassing around their hand is going to keep them protected until all that off-gassing is done. It's smart. It's fucking science. It's science, folks. And this is not a kid channel, so I swear a lot. This type of nasty assembly over here too. This is one of these nasty evap cores that's integrated with our heater core. Yeah, the heater core and the evap core, they share the same housing box, so I have to pull a whole housing box, and in order to get that housing box, I'm gonna have to drain the engine fluid. here. Steering wheel's got to get it. Alright, I got to disengage my airbag system. That's what I want to do. Straighten the steering wheel out. I like that. Working on airbag systems, the rule of thumb is to have the battery disconnected for 10 minutes. I brought pliers in here, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Cabin's gonna get warm too. Yeah, the windshield's gonna be my catch-all. It'll be a big AC week. After this, well, it's gonna be an AC and an engine week. So after this, I got 2 engines to pull. Then after those 2 engines to pull, I got to do a complete overhaul of an AC system. That car is getting new hoses, new condenser, new evap car, new evap core, because that AC compressor grenaded. You see, what happened was when I do an inspection of your vehicle and I say, when was the last time you had your AC system vacuumed down and you had the Freon levels properly checked and had the system recharged? That person was like, well, how much is that? And I said, well, it's going to cost you about $300. It's a lot of labor. You know, we're looking at 2 hours just with the AC machine, but I'll replace all your AC O-ring fittings. You'll get new compressor oil. It's great stuff. The person was very, very interested. Then the spouse was very confrontational and thought it was just like, oh, well, you know, my Ford Ranger never had to have that. Where's your Ford Ranger now? Oh, I had to trade it in. Yeah, okay. And then he proceeded to just come by every other week saying how no other shop around this area would even think of offering such a service. And they went online and all their friends made fun of him because he didn't know that that was such a stupid service. And 3 months later, his AC compressors doesn't work. Brings it back to us. I says, well, yeah, your compressor's seized. Remember when I told you your air felt kind of warm and we should do something about that? And you made fun of us? Well, now you need thousands of dollars worth of work. 900-gram system, there was like 200 grams holding that system together. I don't even know how that system was even cooling at 200 grams. But I thought it was. We're just moving seats forward and backward. Oh, there goes my GoPro camera. I'm not really happy with the GoPro camera today. This is one of those fun ones where I gotta move the seats forward to get all these bolts out of the center console. Now I'll be able to pull the center console back. Good. I think this part comes up first. Yep. Hair bands there, sweetheart. All right. Disconnected. Whew. can come back now. Just come up like that. Yep. Back on, because that is a sharp piece of metal. See anything yellow? Airbag. Don't mess with airbag stuff unless your battery's been disconnected for 10 minutes and is still disconnected. And this job needs to be done today. So what are we at? About 12:40 Central Standard Time. Had my slow start, had my early lunch. Stay on it, we'll get her done. Seem to always find a way to hurt myself before I do some sort of big interior job, you know? I don't understand it. Started working out again. I'm doing good. Not doing weights. I'm not doing weights yet. I'll be hitting weights in a few weeks. Right now I'm doing a lot of body strength exercises, a lot of cardio. Trying to help my body remember that what it's like to work it out again. If I go straight into just lifting weights, in my personal opinion, as a previous personal trainer, getting into a workout program, the first 6 to 8 weeks needs to be nothing but body movements, body weight exercises, cardio. So that way you can build up all of your stabilizer muscles, and you build up your endurance. So that way when you do go to the free weight section and you start hitting the bench, you can be more effective at doing it, and you'll have less risk of injury. You'll make better results. And I see personal trainers now at the gyms, especially the gym I'm going to right now. And I'm seeing like first term people, they got them going straight to kettlebells, and I'm like, oh no, that person's gonna get hurt, and they're gonna hate you, and they're not gonna want to come back. But that's just me. I hate it when they shortchange these radials to make it hard to get to the connectors. And all your plugs are upside down. Yeah, so what I got going right now, I got a lot of training that I'm doing with BOSU balls, yoga balls, a lot of jump rope, a lot of jump rope. I'm a big believer that jump rope is one of the hardest exercises to train up. So I had to do a lot of personal training for people in the military, and I'd always get these people who were in decent shape, but they just couldn't pass their military physical standard tests. They had to do them like every year, and they would just bitch and moan about how it's just a poorly done system, and the whole system's against them. And I was like, I don't know what your point is. I says, but like 95% of the rest of the military doesn't have a problem passing these tests. Just the people like you with a really bad attitude. Just because you look fit doesn't mean you are fit. For all those military people that came in with that kind of attitude and didn't want to take advantage of my program, because my program was a way out. It was like a redemption program. So if you stuck with the program for 8 weeks, then you got a retest and you didn't get written up. But I always let them know. I says, oh well, you know, if you think you're so good, you can just clip out of this. And they go, clip? Like college class clip? I says, hell yeah. You can clip out right now if you're ready. I says, there's an alternate test. And I'll go right to your commander and tell them that you're in the best shape of your life. And the military test, I said, I'll stand up for everything you said because you are in peak physical fitness. They were like, what do I got to do? I give them a jump rope. I says, you have to the end of the day to jump rope for 5 minutes straight without out. I'll tell you what, if you've never actually like jump rope with like a speed rope, a rookie, even like you could take somebody who's really good at running or somebody who's really good at working out, like they're in really great shape, bodybuilders. It's just a really good, the jump rope is a really good kind of humble yourself exercise. I think the longest a first timer ever made it was 30 seconds. 30 seconds, just any pace they want. They can double hop, they can single hop, they can jog in place. I don't care how they do it. I'm just like 5 minutes, non-stop, let's go. Never had anybody make it anywhere close to 60 seconds. Not even myself. I'm reevaluating myself. And I barely made it past 20 seconds Saturday. Or on Sunday. I barely made it past 20 seconds on Sunday. I've had people pass out. Trying to like fight through it. They're like, I'm gonna get it. And I know, like, if you stumble, you know, like if you miss a step and you stumble, you got to reset. I'll give you a reset. I'll give you one reset like every minute. Because, yeah, no one's perfect. It's a very big humbling thing. I enjoy it very thoroughly. But I've had people pass out. They're just trying to fight through it. They're gritting their teeth. They're fighting. And all of a sudden, I'll be like, you're going to pass out. Oh, no, I got it. You need to breathe or you're going to pass out. I got it. They pass out. Then they got EMT standing over them. They're like, you want to go through the 8-week crash course on how to exercise correctly? Let's get it done. So pretty much is I taught an exercise program that pretty much I taught the test. I taught the military test. It's a test that's designed around stamina. You get so many people who just get hung up on what their bench press is and what their squat numbers are and how much they can curl. They forget at the end of the day, all the military really cared about was how many sit-ups you can do in a minute, how many push-ups you could do in a minute, and how far you can run. That is it. Good success rate. Never had a repeat failure. Everybody always passed their examination. And they didn't just squeak by. I mean, like, they really, really did pass it. Like, achieving numbers like they've never achieved before. Get all these goofy gadgets out of this car. This dash is definitely going to be giving me less of a hard time than the other dash that we did last week. Excuse me, tired. Yeah. Much easier time than the other one, and that's just because Subaru kind of figured out their flaws with the other dash between that one and this one. So now the sneaky sun sensors that are scattered on the front of the dash, they're not connected to the main harness anymore. They have their own independent harnesses, which is awesome. So, no more having to reroute wires or lose routing of wires. I did play a buttload of Mario Kart this weekend. I haven't played that game in a couple of years, so I was really happy to get back into it. I forgot how much I liked it. Mario Kart was always a huge game to play when you were deployed. We had a, so I think where I was at, and when I was bouncing between Africa, Korea, and Afghanistan, like I was traveling with a GameCube and 3 copies of Mario Kart for that. Why 3 copies? Because every time I got my hands on one cheap, I'd buy it. Because like the discs would just not read anymore for some reason. It was interesting because eventually I was on a Mario Kart forum, and there was a Nintendo of America employee there, and they were like, they've never heard of this, like somebody burning out a disc. They said, send us your next one. Like, we'll send you a brand new copy, but we've never heard of it. Okay. I was like, well, I have like 3 dead ones right now. Because it wasn't like they were scratched or anything, they just stopped reading. And sure enough, a few weeks later, they sent me some new ones, and they were like, we've never seen this before. Like, well, like, these controllers, or it says these games, never leave never leaves this console. I mean, like, we just played until it dies. You're talking about a GameCube getting played for like 8 hours a day, 365 days a year. Like, because if you weren't working, eating, or working out, you were playing Mario Kart. If you're wondering how people could just compulsively play a game for so long, I'm like, well, like we were rotating. It's not like everybody was. We were playing it 8 hours straight. There's at any given time about 15 people just rotating in. But I mean, look at the people who can just play those other silly games like PUBG and Fortnite all day, every day. To each their own, I say. But, yep, I got the old Nintendo Switchy. And I finally decided to upgrade from the basic switch to the OLED switch, the OLED. I can't believe I put that off for so long. That is a night and day difference in the way that video games look on that screen. I am really happy with the OLED. I mean, there's really no other huge differences in the OLED other than maybe, what was it? They doubled the internal memory, but if you got a Switch, then you probably got a 1 terabit SD card in the back or something similar. I think mine has like a 512 gig. What else? They say the speakers are a little bit better, and they are. Screen's a little bit bigger, and it is. But no difference in graphics or CPU speed. I mean, all that stayed the same. Like going, I've never played video games on an OLED screen before, so I didn't know what I was really gonna get, like how much I was gonna react to it. It was a big difference. I gotta admit it. Very big. Very big difference. I mean, the resolution didn't change. It was the same resolution, but because that black scale was a true black, everything looked different. I mean, it was the equivalent of going from, think of it like getting your first like TV with HDMI input on it. Like you've just been using composite jacks your whole life, and you finally get your first HD TV. You're like, whoa. That's kind of what it was like for me. So Saturday, I missed my workout day because I was just binging for about 4 hours straight playing Mario Kart online. I was kicking ass for the first couple hours until I got my score back up into like the, I think I'm in like the 8,000s now. Yeah, that game's changed in the last couple of years since I played online. So I gotta rethink all my Mario Kart strategy. There's like 90 maps now that I gotta read about. I was watching one guy's YouTube channel. I think his channel's called Kart with a C. Yeah, nice guy, good breakdown on everything, very quick and to the point. And yeah, there's a lot of playing of statistics in that game. I couldn't believe it. I pretty much, the way that it came off was like, it just made me look like somebody who just been winging it and getting lucky. But I started putting some of his strategies into place and I go, it does make a difference. So like there was one group of people I was with playing, and they randomly selected with people. So I was with this random group of people playing worldwide. Sorry. So I was playing worldwide with a group of people, and I could not get above 4th place. Couldn't get the strategy. Like I would get, like the couple of times that I did hold first, I could knock back so fast and so hard. It was aggressive. But then this guy's channel, he had strategies for kind of getting out of the middle of the group and how to survive and not get knocked back so much, and it made sense. So basically I fell back a couple more positions, but trying not to let the first and second place cars get so much time on me. But by falling back in position a couple of cars to where I'm in like the last group, so I'm in the last group of people, that gave me much better equipment for getting up to the front. So that's where you would get your bullet bills, your piranhas, lightning bolts, blue shell. So you fall back to get better equipment, and then you use your natural driving skills to pace ahead. And then you use that super rare equipment that only the people far in the back would get. I was like, really cool strategy. So yeah, I fell back like 3 car lengths and I was in 9th place. I got a bullet bill and a star, and then I made up all my time by tracking in the corners. I got up to 5th place, used my 2 items. I'm like, holy crap, I'm 2nd. That's just how fast that game can turn around. I never paid much notice to my mini-map, but I started learning how to look at the mini-map better and see when somebody launched a blue shell at me. So if you're running first and you see a blue shell, you fall back and you let somebody else take the lead, and that blue shell will automatically just lock on to the new blue place person. So that blue shell just blows right by me and I go, wow, that shit worked, and then I overtake them. I don't get to play my games too much on the big screen TV. I always play on the handheld. That's why I sprung for the OLED. Generally, by the time I'm winding down by the end of the day, I only get to play my games in bed for about 30-40 minutes. Or maybe I'm just chilling at my computer. I'll knock a little bit of game out there. Yeah, 17. But a game I do got to get back into because I stopped playing because I really just was getting my ass handed to me and I couldn't figure out a new strategy to get me further. But it's a game that I love. I really do love, because I always tell people, like, if you like beat 'em up games, or you like Devil May Cry style games with really good strategy and story in them, Hades. I got the burps, I don't know why. Hades, hand down. Play Hades. Man, if there's like an Adventure Island game, it'd be Hades. And what got me into Hades was, it is the first game in a very, very long time that captivated me that wasn't online play. You see, all these games now, they're going community-based, online gaming, and you know what? Sometimes it's just nice to play a game by yourself. I don't want to play a game with a raiding party. I don't have to find people online. I just want to do it myself. So I was really, really attracted to Hades, and what I like about not only do I like that it's a roguelike game, because I love roguelike games, but after you beat the game, it unlocks a new storytelling challenge. So you handicap yourself, and it unlocks more story, and you're beating the game, but you're still getting new story dialogue. Those people really thought it out, and I don't think we'll ever get another game like that in a very, very long time. People don't make video games like that anymore. They really don't. Hades is a game that you can beat. You can beat the game the first play round. Everything you need is there to beat it, because all you need is an understanding of how the mechanics of the game work. There's nothing super cryptic about it. Kind of like the original Dead Souls, alright, Dead Souls 1, how people would spend hours and hours and hours, like 30-40 hours, know, getting through that game. And then all of a sudden you see people playing it with no weapon upgrades, no armor upgrades, no spell upgrades, because the mechanics, the core mechanics of the game was all you really needed to understand. And that's how Hades is. It's a game that relies on you understanding its core mechanics. Every button you press is deliberate. If you're a button masher, you're gonna have to learn how not to be a button masher. And normally video game stories don't hold my interest that well. Usually I just kind of get bored with them, or they're just so cliche I just don't care about them. But this one was good. Like, I actively pursued all the side quests. The story is dope. The voice acting is amazing. It's good. It's good. But yeah, so I gotta get an extension. So I got, in my Hades playthrough, I have all the amulets unlocked. I have all the amulets at their maximum ability. I have all the weapons unlocked, with most of them fully upgraded. I think I'm on burn playthrough, like there's like hell playthrough, so like every time you beat the game on a different level, or you beat the game on a different threshold of playing, it gives you like an infernal level. So like I'm on an infernal 12. And it goes up to like 30, I think. It's been good to me. The game's been good to me. So I gotta get back into that, but I gotta find me a YouTube channel that'll teach me some techniques, some survival techniques, where I can hone my skills in a little bit better. I read in one group, and this is kind of where I drifted off the game, because I was learning how to replay with a different controller grip. But they were all saying that, you know, to get past Inferno 10, you're gonna have to stop relying on the analog stick, and you're gonna have to rely on the D-pad, so that way you can get more precise controls. And that was breaking my mind. My thumb kept wanting to go back to the analog stick, but I understood what they were talking about. Because those milliseconds that it takes to transition that analog stick around in a fighting game. Stick throw, so to say. I'm gonna need a pick. One person even went as far as they completely overhauled their controller, and they got an 8-bit DOE, like arcade style cabinet controller. That was pretty wild. And he's on like Inferno 25. But I got to figure out how to do the Twitch thing, because I'd start like to just sharing with y'all my casual gameplays. I don't play any of these crazy new games that everybody's hooked on. I'm usually always behind the curve, and I find some niche stuff. And it all really depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So like one of my favorite games that I'm working on right now on the Switch, because I got really good on PC, but PC has a lot of ways to train yourself. It's Brotato. Big fan of the game Brotato, but it is on your iPad, your Android, and your iPhone. Don't buy it there. Do not give them any money. Fuck them. I wrote them a big old piece of hate mail. But basically, the developer team sold the game rights to the mobile market to make a game, and it plays like freaking Fortnite, where they want you to put money into the game as you play, and it just keeps bothering you. Think of it, I don't know, it's like, this is kind of dating myself, but like Plants vs. Zombies, amazing game. Amazing game. We all love Plants vs. Zombies. The first one, okay? The first one. Not that Call of Duty one. That's for all you millennials. You Gen Z, whatever you're calling yourself now. Your XYZ, Triple X. No. Original Plant vs. Zombie. It was made by PopCap Entertainment. It was like $8. Amazing game. The same people who made Peggle. Great game. Well, anyhow, a sequel was announced. And when they were working on the sequel, Electronic Arts was like, man, this is a game company that made a lot of money. We should buy them and run it into the ground, because that's all Electronic Arts does. Electronic Entertainment. That's all they do, is they buy up these companies that make really good games, and then they say, let's make the same game, but let's make it a cash grab and ruin it. Kind of like how Disney's doing that with Marvel. They were like, oh, it worked really good for Star Wars. The audience people are stupid and they'll watch any kind of crummy movie we make, it's just as long as it says Star Wars. Let's do it with Marvel. So that's how Electronic Arts is. They buy games, they turn them into cash grabs, and then the fans go, what the hell is happening? So, the second zombie game came out. Plants vs. Zombies 2 came out. And it was free. And it was free because it was full of microtransactions. The game, no matter how good you were, the AI would scale the hardness of the game up. So the game would cheat against you to make you buy power-ups. Is that not lame or what? Now, you could naturally acquire power-ups by doing all these you could do all these little stupid tasks, but it defeated the purpose of the game. It took you away from the story of the game. And it sucked. So they went with the Candy Crush model. I'm so mad. So I really hate anybody who was part of the PopCap development team and facilitated that. I hate you all. Kind of like how I hate this this job that I'm doing right here. How are you expecting me to pull the dash over those things? And you're supposed to have a disconnect right here for my sensors, but you don't. connector I didn't disconnect it. Why do they keep doing this? I swear. Well, if it's other people that I want to wish harm to, it's the people who design automotive airbag connectors. Folks, why can you not agree on one terminal disconnect style? Okay? Everyone has to have their own flavor of connector that is a mystery. It's you're like, oh, like which tab do I have to press on first? They have, if you thought the child safety locks on pill bottles could get annoying, do airbag connectors across 4 manufacturers, across 3 generations of vehicle design. I think it's aggravating. Most of them I've learned how to defeat by just using a pick and a screwdriver. I don't even mess with the tabs anymore. Because I can just look at it and go, oh, you want me to lift up on this tab and pull this tab and then release it with the 8 fingers that I don't have conveniently right now? Sure, yeah, let me just jam a pick in there and make it work. Okay, I got one more connector. Oh, the 12-volt outlet plug. Still got those, huh? I don't believe we're still doing 12-volt outlet plugs. I mean, Ford technically got rid of their 12-volt outlet plugs. They're all USB-C now. Something's gonna go. Oh yeah, just a little push pin. One step further. I normally don't do this, but I'm gonna do it first. I don't want to scratch these controls up, so I'm gonna take this controller grip off. See? This is another airbag clip, but it's a different style. Just jam a screwdriver, defeat all the locks. Nope. Not even gonna pretend. This will all come up out of just one piece. Ta-da! Do not spin. Now do you want to go out? Yes, you want to come out now. Great. I'm going to take it out that way. Stick shift. Another clip? Where? Oh, couldn't even see it. This would require a pair of pliers. That was tucked way up in there, wasn't it? Okay. Give you the freedom to leave. Go away. Okay, that goes to my radio. Crash beam's got to come out of the way now. So, start getting all these clips. Some secret 10 mils all around this place. And lots of stupid wire routing. Lots of one-way clips. I'm going to need a T40 to get these sides down. Somebody says, can't see the job with the chat on the screen. I don't know if I can change that. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry for that inconvenience, but that's why I offer you the GoPro. Just go to the main channel, and then there's no chat on the screen there. The one game that I'm really excited to start playing again, that I haven't played in a long time, is I'm going to get me some Dark Souls going again. I really do like Dark Souls. It's just a good, punishing game. Didn't care too much for the second and the third one, but the first one, amazing. Kind of think the second and third one, I played them through a little bit, but I just lost interest. I wasn't as captivated as I was with the first one. I think Dark Souls 1 is a game that we will never see anything like it ever again. There's few games like that in life. Like Fez? Oh, Fez. F-E-Z? That is another game too, yeah. You'll never see another game made like that either. Fez is probably one of my favorite platform puzzle games ever. Like the guy who was making it was a solo build. He was the sound designer, the level designer, the engineer. Solo build. The game drove him insane. It took him like 8 years to make. Because every time he got halfway through it, like the game engine that he was designing would just get another up. He would like figure out ways how to make the game engine better, and he's like, well, now I gotta overhaul my whole game. Can't imagine what that would feel like. Kind of be like building an engine and then all of a sudden being like, oh, I just learned something. I gotta tear it all back down and do it this way now. What hidden AC stuff is in this? Hidden 10 mil. Yeah, but if none of y'all saw, I run 2 feeds. So you get a vertical feed that grabs your attention, and if you want a full widescreen HD feed, just go to the channel and you can see it. is my 12 millimeter. That's 17. That's my box water. That's my 10. Why that 12 walked away? Oh, because I put it on an extension. Into the abyss. Let's see if I get a magnet. I can get it. Should be ready to rock and roll now, huh? Might need a hammer to get this going. Go get some bulkhead plugs over here. One-way clips. You know, I really don't understand why they do that. It's how you get rattles in your car, you know. gotta be observant and taking some of these bolts out. Some of them are holding down ground, so you want to make sure those grounds get put back. Just the rest clips. Nothing but clips. Cars are designed to go together. They don't care how they come apart. It's the sad truth of it all. That's why you got bolts in stupid spots. You know how this all goes in? Alright, when they're building your car at the factory, there's no carpet, there's no seats, there's no trim, there's no doors on the car. Okay? Your dash, your bulkhead harness, and your HVAC unit, it all goes in one shot. Then some dude walking on the assembly line knocks it all out in about 30 seconds. And then to take it apart, it takes like 6 hours, according to the book. You want this. Maybe these. Joe! Over here. Hi. I know you're working. I'll put it on your box if you want it right here. Thank you. That would be good. On your box? I got this. Here. I'm curious. I got mail from Brooklyn. Oh! Got me a bob. Nice. This is from a channel, Bob the Bender. He's a content creator out of Houston. I'm waiting on the sticker. Boop. So his whole gimmick is he's got a little pointy stick that he calls Bob. Put that up on my toolbox right now. It's time to glove up and get me a swinging stick. So basically these crash beams is just full of razor sharp metal, unfinished metal. You can hurt yourself. Make sure you're wearing some thick gloves. Don't wear those vinyl gloves. Get some leather gloves. And get your swinging stick. Use that to just kind of shock it loose. Oh. I was had an ADHD moment and I started working these loose. But then I never took them out. Whoops. Let's just get those out of here real quick. thing is pretty feisty in here. Gotta make sure, no hidden bolts on my heater cord anymore, so there we go. Just needed one more good pull. Yeah, driver's side end's going to be a little bit on the feisty side because I elected not to take down all those clips because they're assholes clips. They're asshole clips. It wants the BIU. Let me see if it'll just let me. Let me see if it'll let me just drop the whole box instead of tearing down the whole box. That'll be really cool. See how it feels. Maybe give me a little extra wiggle room. Kind of, yeah. This antenna on there. And a little bit of a booger, but not a problem. So we got a temp sensor, really integrated in here. Temp sensor on the box. HVAC housing. When you got these integrated heater core and condenser or evaporator core modules, I just call them the HVAC module, or the sometimes people call it the HVAC engine. I don't know why. Housing, you say HVAC housing, I know what you're talking about. It means you got an integrated assembly and it's ruining your day or your week, depending on the car you're working on. You should be free. You got a lot of free stuff happening here. This thing should be ready to up. There we go. There's some hard, there's some heavy hang up. Big ass connector that's gonna need like a one-way clip that might be like a blowtorch. Teach you a lesson. This is what we would refer to as the asshole. She's about the size of a butt plug. And it's doing a lot of limiting of the movement. I don't like it. the feistiness in this one. Normally I take apart this whole thing, but I wanted to see how truly essential it is to unplug everything. I'm trying to discover a shortcut. So if I can save 20-30 minutes messing around with this corner, that'd be amazing. Because in my mind, there's enough harness there, and it's really just being inhibited by the shortcomings. You should have plenty to work with here, sunshine. Another big boy clip. There we go. That's the kind of room I'm talking about there. Really. So I basically just unbolted the BIU and took the big clips off the huge bulkhead harness on the loom from the bar so I could just roll it out of the way. This will be more than enough to rip that out. Think if you had to do a blower motor or the housing for the blower motor, like this whole cage, you're doing the same task. Because this whole thing is interconnected. Piece of junk, huh? iPhone a little bit of juice. Battery's at 34%. Make sure my camera's in it. Yeah, the screens are tilted, but okay, I gotta get my heater core hoses disconnected. Yay! What is it hung up on? A wire or something? You got a wire? Oh, drain tube. Come here, little doggy. Here's our new housing. Time to tear apart the old one. One-way clips? No. The nemesis is the one-way clip. Just to get the evac port out of this HVAC housing, you do have to take the heater port out. No way around it. Then they put all these stupid little screws on the evac port half, but you still, after you got all the stupid little screws up, you still have to defeat these plastic one-way clips. I'm like, just make up your mind. Screws are plastic clips. One-way clips on a housing box that shouldn't have to come apart. We get broken clips. I don't like broken clips. That work. Put one-way clips underneath the servo motors? Oh, you were just asking for this thing not to go back together right. That's not nice. It's really nice. Must have been abused by his professor or something. This is uncomfortable. There we go. Oh, he wants me to hurt it. Like no cars in the garage sale. It's so creepy. Coming apart now. Spicy. There we go, that's it. Oh yeah, that's a big leak. Yeah, right on the core support. The orientation how that one is. So lay that there. I got to prep this one for installation. So they give you a new neck right here, but you can't install it with this on. You have to take this off. Tell you what, the Germans would be proud of this engineering. The one I'm going to use. I'm going to transfer over my temp sensor. It's on rail 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's important you put this back exactly where it goes. Don't guess. If you get it too high, your evaporator core freezes over. You get it too low, it cycles too often and you don't get cold air. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I can see it with my eyes. I can see where the leak was happening right here from this core support. Terrific. too feisty. Too feisty. You got a groove, go lay in your groove. Stay in your groove, okay? Nobody likes it when you play rough. So close to being done. What's that? No, I didn't ask you to come apart. That's not. You're not supposed to Did I just go colorblind all of a sudden? I don't understand. Around 4 or 5 with this thing. Problem is the way that I have to hold one piece and tap another piece. They're just not wanting to agree with it. plastic cut me. What I would do for a clean workbench right now. All my workbenches are cluttered with things that are taken apart and need parts. I'm doing this on the ground. Big dummy. That sprocket better be keyed. I forgot to mark it. Usually when you're tearing down these HVAC cabinets, it's a really smart idea to mark the orientation of every servo motor for the blend door and every sprocket that comes off. Really common mistake. Because you go to put them back together and then everything's jammed. Again, remember folks, stuff's designed to go together. They don't care about it coming apart. They really don't. Like, they come up with the instructions on how to take things apart after they build the car. Again, something that I didn't do the breadcrumb trail on. I just, like an idiot, took it apart. So now I'm like, this is here, this is there.
have the grease gun to grease this up?
No. Cool. I hate bullets. Forgot to put that on. You're gonna need this. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Try it the correct orientation. Hookups. I'm going to omit doing the line hookups for the time being, as there is nothing supporting this currently, so I need to get it braced temporarily. I'm going to loosely install the 3 main bolts holding this housing in place. Yeah, there was one over here. Over there then. Or I just roll the crash beam in. I think I'll just roll the crash beam in. Because the crash beam has 1, 2, 3, 4 points that have to be centered up. Like the blower housing. Driver's side, it's a little crooked. $2:45 Central Standard Time. Alright, if I get see this thing hold some cold air in the next couple hours. That'd be a big plus. Sorry. Should have muted that one. Oh no! Don't fall, don't fall. Housing has alignment bends for the crash beam, and that's amazing to know that. It's just gonna make my job. Good click. Good click. That's on point. That's good. The other one is a little bit off. That's better. Oh, yay! Gloves off. I ask you, you still want to work on cars for a living? You don't see this crap on the Discovery Channel, do you? All those people with their fancy hot rods? No way. No way could they do this. Are you kidding me? One of those. I didn't check my clips. If you were here for the last pull, I said check your clips before you put this damn crash beam in. Otherwise, your bolts won't go in. You'll be pulling your beam out again. Wasting a lot of time. Well, here we are. Wasting. There we go. See, it's this dumb thing right there. Alright, so the idea of these things is one of the sides of your crash beam is going to have them, but as you're tightening your bolt, this will go through, and when your bolt tightens, it starts pulling this spacer out and it adjusts the gap. You want to make sure that they're working. Sometimes during the bolt extraction they can get a little tight. If they get run all the way down, there's a little clip that holds them in place. That's designed like that for shipping.
Isn't always your way.
That T40 at? So we're going to do our 2 side bolts, then we're going to do our 2 mid bolts and our HVAC, make sure everything's straightened up before we go any further, because if our alignments on all that stuff is off, no point in proceeding, because then our dash won't all be I don't like doing anything for nothing. This bolt has a ground that passes through it. Tells you to keep track of all that stuff. much is this costing? Well, let's see here. It's about 9 hours of labor at $189 an hour plus a $300 part and $300 worth of Freon. So a lot of money, folks. What's the woman want? What's up? I don't want anything. I would have got it yesterday. Alright, bye. That should be good. Uh-oh. Reconnected. Alright. That's cool. We're doing pretty good. We're 3 hours into it. Probably got another 2 hours for the work. to get my AC machine going. I'm going to verify I don't have any leaks before I go any further. It's an infrared sensor, so if you bump it, you can make false readings. This also makes a really good bullshit detector. Somebody talking. Ah, boobs. That's why I gotta be really careful with getting it around your mouth because it'll pick up stuff. Alright, we're good to charge it up. my steering column popped out. Damn it. Just another problem. There's a little carrier bearing that rides on the steering shaft down to the steering rack, and it keeps everything stable. I'll worry about it after I get everything else done. I'll fix that offline. Make sure you get all your blend doors plugged in. They will be really fun to plug in with the dash attached. Trust me. Oh no, the bullshitters are coming over here. I don't want them over here. check and check. Check. Check and check. Check, 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 check. Check. And those are double checked. Okay. Pull these down. And let's bring in the dash. to the fit. Let's try that dash ID again. Come on, you. Yay. Soft fit looks good. Still a little bit chunky over here. Same thing. Getting on my nerves. Some trinket people. There we go. Come here, you. No. Trying to get this little wire clip to go into the dash so I don't come back. Doesn't want to make a rattle. She's gonna rattle. Come on, pliers. There we go. There we go. Yes, got it. if you ever went into a repair facility and you're like, hey, all my little trinkets got thrown on the ground, or maybe they're sitting in my glove box for some weird reason, it's because of this. That side isn't even. Fell out. I'm gonna call those a J-nut. These are USB cables, by the way, even though, look at that. Proprietary crap. I regret unplugging you. I know. I just would like you to be nice. Oh, they're keyed. Oh, that's great. Oh, look at it. There you go. Yeah, see it goes in. Yeah. Jumper wire. dokie. More cables.